watching KMPH Fox 26. And now the Valley's only primetime newscast. This is the KMPH 10 o'clock news.
And just when you thought the stadium battle was over, not just yet. In fact, it may just be beginning.
The deal breaker in the latest stadium agreement may be the mayor, Jim Patterson. John DeLuca is live here in our studio with that story. John?
The mayor certainly sounded like a deal breaker today. Although he didn't come right out and say he would veto the proposal, you have to think he will. And if you believe his comments, the yellow brick road being painted by Cook Plan supporters will ultimately turn into a long, dark road of heartbreak for the city. Mayor Patterson wasted little time today shooting apart last night's council-approved Cook Stadium plan.
It is highly likely that we are going to proceed down a path that will lead us to more delay and inability to ultimately finance this very unusual plan.
The mayor's concerns center on the security of $8.5 million in taxpayer money. In May, the city stood in second position behind the county on the deed of trust. But last night's plan put the city third, behind the county and bondholders. What does all of this mean? Well, if the stadium flops, $22.5 million would be paid out to Fresno County and the bondholders before the city gets one dime. In the old plan, only the county's $7.5 million stood in the way of Fresno getting paid.
No one who has common sense can conclude that moving the city of Fresno from a second position to a third is an improvement.
An improvement in the mayor's eyes would be his $30 million publicly financed, voter-approved stadium that he introduced last week. But Diamond Group President John Carbray says that plan was nothing more than a smokescreen to dismantle the current Cook plan.
You could call that a Trojan horse if you want, but I think most people saw through it that it was not a serious, bona fide offer.
Contrary to what the mayor says, Carbray feels last night was a victory for the people of Fresno, and overall, a win-win situation for both the Diamond Group and the city.
They get security, we get more incentivized effort from the city standpoint to make downtown a nicer place for people to go. So we get rewarded too, and they get rewarded.
Well, here is something to think about if you're still on the fence with this issue. Is an $8.5 million loan grant a larger risk than an out-and-out $30 million debt service to the city? If people attend games and concerts, there is no risk. If they don't, both plans are useless. John?
Thank you, John. Joining us now, council members Ken Steitz and Garry Bredefeld. Garry, you're in favor of the stadium. Ken, you are against it. You heard John DeLuca now just a minute ago talk about the risk plan. You are in favor of the mayor's plan, a $30 million proposal with taxpayer money that he came out with last week. Why is it okay to risk $30 million of taxpayer money, but it's not okay to risk 8.5?
Well, because for one, the mayor's plan I don't support. I don't support a public vote for the stadium deal.
I'm talking about the money. I'm not talking about a vote.
I understand, and it's not a $30 million deal that's being proposed. What was
but
being
it's with
proposed
taxpayer money.
$15 million debt service that would be paid instead of what is being proposed.
But you're risking more money with the mayor's plan than you are with this plan.
Not at all. Not
sure
at all.
You are.
It's less.
Not less than 8.5?
Yes, it is, sir.
You agree with that, Garry?
Well, of course not. It's a $30 million stadium that's going to be built, and the council rejected the public model a year ago, and they said they wanted private money and they wanted other money and reduce the city's risk. This plan does that.
In all honesty, you have flip-flopped many times on this issue. Why is this going to work? I mean, this thing could flop, $8.5 million that the city is risking at this point, according to Ken Steitz?
Not at all. I think this is going to be a very successful endeavor. $8.5 million is the city's investment only after the stadium is built. If the stadium is not built, there is not one penny of taxpayer money that will be spent.
But there is a little bit of a risk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nothing is risk-free. There will never be a deal that's completely risk-free. But at some point, you have to pull the trigger and say, we're ready to move the city forward. And yesterday, the council 5-2, and the Board of Supervisors said, we're ready to move forward.
And you pulled the trigger. Let's take a look at a quick graphic now at various projects that the city of Fresno has spent a lot of money on. $57 million million to be exact. Look at that. The exhibit hall, the regional medical center, the shopping center, the federal courthouse, and the land given to the Gap. $57 million. Why is it okay to give that money for those projects, Ken, that the city is not going to recoup, and not 8.5 for the stadium?
Well, the Diamond Group rejected the Gap type of deal. We gave them free land. They rejected it. So
Let's
they
get back
can't
to the
do Gap
question.
deal.
Why is it okay to risk $57 million, give it away, and not 8.5?
Because we didn't risk it. These, if you look at that list of projects, that list of projects are like the exhibit hall expansion. I was opposed to because it was a shaky deal.
The exhibit
So
hall
there's a
doesn't
lot.
make money. It loses
Well,
money.
No, but that's not the issue. You were asking the stadium deal. The stadium deal is a grant, a gift of $15 million to a group that hasn't provided 1 cent.
True or false?
And the deal.
Well, it's false. The city
It is
invests in
true.
projects like this, the Downtown Regional Medical Center, the Convention Center, and we need to invest in the stadium and move the city forward. And that's what this vote is about, moving the city forward.
One quick thing, we're running out of time. Is the mayor going to veto it?
I don't know what the mayor's going to do, but he certainly has been an obstructionist.
We're
The
no
mayor-
closer today than we were in May. It's going to be 9 months before a stadium will be in the dirt.
Yes or no, is the mayor going to veto it?
It doesn't matter.
Yes or no?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, Ken Steitz, Garry Bredefeld, 2 council members here in Fresno. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you.
Jadine, back to you.